Hi, my name's Eric. I'll be reading you selections from today's edition of the New Bedford Standard Times. This is the e-edition for Monday, August 19th of 2024. We'll start with the weather. Across the south coast today, cloudy, showers around, and humid. High of 80, low of 65 expected. Tomorrow, Tuesday, cooler with a shower or two, high of 71, low of 55. On Wednesday, chance for a couple of showers, a high of 73, a low of 53 in the overnight. Get a little chilly in the evenings there. Thursday, partly sunny and pleasant, high of 74, low of 57. Friday, mostly sunny and pleasant, high of 78, low of 59. So a couple of days of wet weather and then a very nice weekend shaping up ahead of us. From the front page of today's Standard Times, New Bedford man charged with murder, stemming from armed robbery by Frank Mulligan in New Bedford. Prosecutors say a 21-year-old New Bedford man shot murder victim Aaron Brito multiple times, removed his chain as he lay on the ground, then shot him again in the early morning of Sunday, August 4th. Defendant Anthony Jallo, J-A-L-O, was held without bail following his arraignment Friday in New Bedford District Court for murder. He had been arrested earlier on Friday morning. Assistant District Attorney Sean Gilderson said the 44-year-old Brito had attended the New Bedford Feast of the Blessed Sacrament earlier on the night of August 3rd with his son. They had left the feast and stopped at the Morna Lounge and Grill at 1621 Acushnet Avenue. Gilderson said there were a number of people congregating outside the lounge, and Jallo and a co-defendant were among them. Gilderson said both are seen in video surveillance tape. They're also ultimately captured on several other video cameras, going with Brito behind the Harmony House, 234 Earl Street, which is a High Point treatment center. Gilderson said video surveillance footage also shows J-Lo allegedly shoot and kill Brito behind the business. It's at that point that Mr. Jallo then takes a chain of jewelry from Mr. Brito, the victim. As he's on the ground, suffering from the multiple gunshot wounds, he shoots him again, Gilderson alleged. He added it's all depicted on multiple angles of video cameras from the Harmony House and a business on Acushnet Avenue. Gilderson alleged some of the videos clearly show J-Lo's face as he walks on the sidewalk, and then as he makes his way out of the area with the co-defendant. The co-defendant is Ruben Lima, who's 18 years old, of New Bedford. He was arrested and arraigned earlier this week on an armed robbery charge. He's currently being held without bail, pending a dangerousness hearing on Monday, and if found to be a threat, he can be held for up to 180 days without bail. J-Lo has two open cases in New Bedford District Court, both involving assault, Gilderson said. One involved an allegation of assault and battery on a corrections officer in which he allegedly punched and kicked the officer repeatedly, Gilderson said. The second involved the alleged assault of a security guard at a mall. Bail warnings had been issued, Gilderson said, which were revoked on Friday. Bail warnings apprise a defendant that they can be held without bail if they're charged with a new crime while their case is pending. Mayor makes it easier to build in-law housing units by Catherine Gallerani of the Standard Times. The City Council is being asked to make changes to the regulations governing accessory dwelling units, commonly known as in-law apartments. Mayor John Mitchell is proposing that the City Council consider easing restrictions to help increase the supply of housing in New Bedford. In a letter and a proposal that was submitted to the City Council on Tuesday, Mitchell writes that the current regulations on ADUs are overly restrictive and have complicated requirements, and the proposed changes will allow for expedited permitting. As we outlined in our Building New Bedford housing plan, updating zoning requirements for ADUs is one of many steps our city should take to increase the supply of housing and help push prices downward, he said. There was no discussion. The proposal kicks off a review process that includes referring it to the City Council's Ordinance Committee and the Planning Board for discussion and recommendation to the full Council. The proposal calls for changes that align with a new state law requiring ADUs by right in single-family zones and are comparable to ADU zoning in other communities. Governor Maura Healey signed the Affordable Homes Act into law on August 6th. This means that homeowners can now build the units on their property without having to meet additional zoning regulations or requirements. The existing ordinance requires a zoning board special permit, renewed every 2 years. It only allows for attached ADUs. It lacks any design standards. It limits the size to 1,000 square feet, and it's silent on short-term rental of ADUs, according to city officials. The proposed ordinance would allow ADUs by right on lots with single-family homes. It would allow detached ADUs, include a process to adopt more specific standards, allow by right units up to 900 square feet and by special permit up to 1,200 square feet, and prohibit short-term rental of the accessory units. Also from the front page of today's Standard Times, dated August 19th, Healey signs ban on PFAS in firefighter turnout gear, and that's PFAS, by Kinga Burundi of the Worcester Telegram and Gazette. It was a different kind of phone call that Fall River Fire Lieutenant Jason Burns made on the morning of August 1st, after the passage of a bill by Massachusetts lawmakers to ban the use of chemicals linked to cancer in firefighting protective gear. His 6 years of advocacy had finally paid off, and he could call the families of the 2 firefighters he had lost to occupational-induced illnesses to tell them they had won their fight against the use of PFAS, in the very equipment that was supposed to protect them. It won't bring them back, Burns said of the men, whom he said died at ages 37 and 32, but it will save other firefighters in the long run. The bill, passed in the wee hours of that Thursday morning, was signed into law by Governor Maura Healey on Thursday afternoon at the grand staircase of the State House. This is an extraordinary day for firefighters across the Commonwealth, said Senator Michael Moore, a Democrat from Millbury, in prepared remarks that he shared with the T&G ahead of the signing ceremony. Moore was instrumental in getting the measure across the finish line as the lead sponsor in the Senate. With the stroke of her pen, Governor Healey is putting manufacturers of turnout gear who use toxic PFAS chemicals on notice that Massachusetts won't tolerate the poisoning of our brave firefighters. Moore, citing data from the International Association of Firefighters, said cancer accounted for 66% of firefighter deaths from 2002 to 2019. Burns, Moore, and the International Association of Firefighters joined with Worcester firefighters to take on the manufacturers of the equipment and other entities who question the veracity of reports about the dangers posed to firefighters by the fire retardant chemicals. It started with the wife of a Worcester firefighter, Diane Cotter. She had read a report of a New Jersey firefighter who had been trapped under burning debris and had steamed to death inside his gear. An examination of the equipment revealed it had deteriorated due to thermal shock. Terrified, she hurried to check her husband's protective gear and found it too had deteriorated. When her husband, Paul, a firefighter since 1988, was diagnosed with prostate cancer at 55, she started to suspect the gear could not only fail due to use, but that it could also endanger firefighters in the long run. How could someone so young be diagnosed with cancer? Diane Cotter said she asked herself. Her answers came through reports that indicated the chemicals used to keep firefighters safe from flames was being absorbed through their skin at alarming levels. During the signing ceremony on Thursday, Moore paid tribute to Cotter, who was watching above the gathering. The firefighters, lawmakers, and officials gathered gave her an extended ovation. Moore also thanked State Auditor Diana DiZolio, who was the first to file a bill to ban PFAS in firefighter gear when she was a member of the Senate, and Representative Jim Hawkins, a Democrat from Attleboro, the House sponsor of this year's successful legislation. Under the new law, by 2027, manufacturers will be blocked from selling or distributing firefighter protective equipment containing intentionally added PFAS in the Bay State. Until that time, manufacturers will be required to list which chemicals are used to treat protective gear. Moore believes the ban will incentivize manufacturers to find newer and safer ways to protect firefighters from exposure to heat and fire-produced toxins, or they'll lose our valuable market, Moore said. A spokesman for the American Chemistry Council, a trade association for American chemical companies, said the group opposes the legislation and argues that all PFAS are not the same. We have strong concerns with this legislation, including the overly broad definition of PFAS, and believe this bill may have unintended consequences for the performance of PPE, personal protective equipment, that our firefighters need, the organization said in a statement to the Telegram and Gazette. The personal protective gear used by firefighters and first responders is designed to withstand extreme hazards they face on the job, including exposure to open flames, high temperatures, and potentially dangerous combustion byproducts. Firefighting gear is designed to resist intrusion by water, oil, and chemicals, while also being breathable, which means allowing body moisture to pass through the garment to modulate core body temperature and reduce heat stress. In firefighting, these performance attributes can mean the difference between life and death, not only for the firefighter, but also for potential fire victims. Today's PFAS have been subject to review by regulators prior to introduction into commerce, and they are subject to ongoing review, the statement continued. PFAS used in commerce today are supported by a body of scientific health and safety data. Richard McKinnon, Jr., president of the Professional Firefighters of Massachusetts, representing more than 12,000 professionals throughout the state, said the fight to get the bill passed was not an easy task, but we got it done. This was a crucial part of our fight against occupational diseases, McKinnon said. We've known for years that our gear was saturated with PFAS. We believe this law, will speed up the development of PFAS-free gear. Massachusetts becomes the second state to pass a ban on PFAS in bunker gear, following Connecticut. Our law is stronger, and it goes into effect a year earlier, McKinnon said. This was written with reports from the State House News Service. I'm not sure if you love it or if you hate it when you hear this, but one of your neighbors, perhaps in New Bedford, struck it rich after winning the lottery jackpot. Donna Balut, B-A-L-U-T, of New Bedford, has won $1 million in the Massachusetts State Lottery's $2 million 50X cash word $10 instant ticket game. Balut opted to receive her prize in the form of a one-time payment of $650,000 before taxes. She said she plans on putting her winnings towards her home. She purchased her winning ticket at Belleville Discount Gas at 535 Belleville Avenue in New Bedford. The store receives a $10,000 bonus for its sale of this ticket. The win comes days after Robert J. Ostria, Jr. of New Bedford, won $4 million in the Massachusetts State Lottery's $4 million Monopoly Doubler game. Congratulations, Ms. Balut. Back to school. When do classes start? By Catherine Gallerani of the Standard Times. Students in Greater New Bedford have less than a month of summer vacation left before they head back to school to continue their education, or in the case of pre-K and kindergarten, get it started. Here are important dates parents and students need to know for the 2024-2025 school year in the New Bedford area. New Bedford Public Schools, when classes start, vacations, and graduations. New Superintendent Andrew O'Leary will lead the way this school year, but he's no stranger to working in the New Bedford school system. He was previously the assistant superintendent and has filled multiple other roles for the city schools. The New Bedford schools will open with 3 different schedules for students. The first day of school for New Bedford High School grade 9 and 12 students only is Wednesday, August 28th. The first day for all other students, grades 1 through 12, will be Thursday, August 29th. The first day at John Avery Parker Elementary School for pre-K through grade 5 students will be Thursday, August 29th. New Bedford Public Schools has the following vacations scheduled. Thanksgiving break will be Thursday and Friday, November 28th and 29th. Holiday school vacation will be Monday, December 23rd through Monday, January 3rd. Christmas and New Year's holiday observance will be Tuesday, December 24th, Wednesday, December 25th, and Tuesday, December 31st. Winter school vacation will be February 17th to 21st. The spring school vacation will be April 21st to 25th. The last day of school is scheduled for Friday, June 20th, if there are no cancellations. The New Bedford High School class of 2025 is scheduled to graduate on Thursday, June 10th. Dartmouth Public Schools, when classes start, vacations, and graduation. Dartmouth students in all grades will report to the first day of school on Wednesday, August 28th. Dartmouth Public Schools has the following vacations scheduled. Thanksgiving recess will take place Thursday and Friday, November 28th and 29th. Holiday recess will be Monday, December 23rd to Wednesday, January 1st. The winter recess will be Monday through Friday, February 17th through 21st. And the spring recess will be Monday through Friday, April 21st through 25th. The last day of school will be a half day on Thursday, June 12th. The graduation for the Dartmouth High School class of 2025 will be held on Sunday, June 15th. Fairhaven Public Schools, when classes start, vacations, and graduations. It's time to finish up your shopping for the new school year because it starts later this month in Fairhaven. The first day for students in grades 1 through 12 will be Wednesday, August 28th. The first day for kindergarten students will be Monday, August 30th. The first day for pre-kindergarten students will be Wednesday, September 4th. Fairhaven Public Schools has the following vacations scheduled. Thanksgiving break, Thursday and Friday, November 28th and 29th. Christmas vacation, Monday, December 23rd through Wednesday, January 1st. Winter vacation, February 17th through 21st. Spring vacation, April 21st through 25th. The last day of school is scheduled for Friday, June 13th, if there are no cancellations. And the Fairhaven High School graduation is tentatively set for Sunday, June 1st. Acushnet Public Schools, when classes start, vacations, and graduation. It's getting close to crunch time with the start of school coming soon. Acushnet students in grades 1 through 8 and Albert F. Ford Middle School students will report for the first day of school Wednesday, August 28th. The first day for kindergarten and pre-K students will be Wednesday, September 4th. Acushnet High School students attend Fairhaven High School with school starting Wednesday, August 28th. Fairhaven Public Schools has the following vacations scheduled. Thanksgiving break, November 28th and 29th, a Thursday and Friday. Holiday vacation, Monday, December 23rd through Tuesday, December 31st. Winter vacation, February 17th through 21st. Spring vacation, April 21st through 25th. The last day of school is scheduled for Friday, June 13th, if there are no cancellations. The Fairhaven High School graduation is tentatively set for Sunday, June 1st. Bishop Stang High School, when classes start, vacations, and graduation. New student orientation is Tuesday, August 20th. Students in grade 9 start classes on Wednesday, August 28th. Students in grades 10 to 12 start classes Thursday, August 29th. Bishop Stang has the following vacations scheduled. Thanksgiving break is Thursday and Friday, November 28th and 29th. Christmas vacation is Monday, December 23rd through Monday, January 6th. Winter vacation is February 17th through 21st. Spring vacation is April 21st through 25th. The last day of exams is scheduled for Wednesday, June 18th, and Bishop Stang High School graduation is set for Thursday, June 5th. And with all of those dates and numbers, it's a good time to remind you that if you miss any of the information that we share, you can always go to audiblelocalledger.org and go to the Listen tab. Click on that, and you'll be able to hear a week's worth of our newspaper readings, probably even more than that. And our grocery guides are there for what's on sale at the grocery store. And you can catch up on anything you might have missed. All of that is free for people who are blind or print disabled at audiblelocalledger.org. We have finished all the local news that is in today's Standard Times. But there are people in the news, even though they're not local. Saturday Night Live alum Jackson says she has inoperable tumor. Saturday Night Live alum Victoria Jackson is speaking out about an inoperable tumor in her windpipe. The Floridian funny woman who starred on the NBC sketch series from 1986 to 1992 shared the news in a candid Instagram caption, writing, "I have 34.8 months to live if I don't get hit by a meteor, shot by a MAGA hater, get COVID again, or World War III breaks out. They cannot operate and cut out the marble in my chest that is laying on my windpipe, and it will eventually suffocate me to death," Jackson said in her Instagram video posted Wednesday. Jackson, 65, has previously battled breast cancer and shared with followers that she had been prescribed a drug to help shrink the cancer. "I've had a fantastic life," she told her fans via Instagram, but added that she still had a bucket list before dying. While Jackson, a known supporter of former President Donald Trump, will be remembered for her bubbly brand of SNL comedy, she also has turned heads for decades for her controversial conservative slant on a number of issues. Prince Harry urges caution on AI during a trip to Colombia. Britain's Prince Harry urged caution over artificial intelligence and talked of social media as divisive during a panel in Colombia's capital, Bogota, alongside his wife Meghan and the Andean country's vice president, Francia Marquez. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who stepped away from official royal duties in January of 2020 and now live in California, arrived in Colombia on Thursday at the invitation of Marquez and are touring the country. During a panel discussion at Bogota's EAN University Thursday evening, Harry raised his concerns over the future of AI. "AI is scary, and I think a lot of people are scared and uncertain," the prince said. "One of my biggest worries is that for as long as social media is the way that it is, we will forever be divided. We're no longer arguing over facts. We're debating and arguing over misinterpreted information," he added. After being greeted by Marquez in Bogota, the royal couple, are they still royal if they've rejected all of the royal trappings, except for the name? Not sure. Visited a school and spoke to students. They also took in a traditional Colombian dance performance where Harry clapped his hands along with Marquez, the country's first black woman vice president and a former environmental activist. The Dream denies claims in sexual battery lawsuit. Grammy-winning singer and songwriter The Dream, that's the-Dream, is denying claims leveled against him in a recent lawsuit from a woman who alleges he lured her into an abusive, violent, and manipulative relationship. Lawyers for the 46-year-old musician, whose real name is Terrius Gestelde Diamant, detailed his categorical denials of any non-consensual sexual acts and violence in a motion to dismiss filing in California federal court that was reviewed by USA Today on Friday. Plaintiff Shanaz Mangrove's June 4th complaint included allegations that were a character assassination of Gesteld Diamant, his lawyers wrote. Mangrove, who's 33 and professionally known as Chani Monroe, filed a lawsuit that was a legally insufficient hit piece with 300 paragraphs of largely irrelevant, inaccurate, and intentionally out-of-context allegations, reads Friday's filing by Gestelde Diamant's attorneys. The complaint weaponizes destructive racial stereotypes against Diamant that he and others have faced and tried to overcome their entire lives. In her June complaint, Mangrove claimed her working relationship with The Dream was filled with physical assaults, violent sexual encounters, and horrific psychological manipulation under the guise of helping her pursue a recording and publishing contract with his record label, Contra Paris, LLC, and Epic Records. AGT comedian Kurtz, dead at 73 after alleged hit and run. Los Angeles comedian Perry Kurtz, who appeared in the auditions for America's Got Talent in 2013, has died at the age of 73. According to Los Angeles County Medical Examiner records, Kurtz died Thursday. Local news outlets, including Fox 11 and KTLA, reported an 18-year-old suspect was arrested on suspicion of a felony hit-and-run that killed Kurtz in Tarzana, a neighborhood in LA's San Fernando Valley. Los Angeles Police Department officials told the outlets that the collision occurred after 11 p.m. Thursday while Kurtz was crossing the street. The comedian was pronounced dead at the scene. USA Today has reached out to the LAPD and AGT representatives. TMZ was first to report the news. Kurtz donned a bedazzled jacket and went before AGT judges Howard Stern, Heidi Klum, and Mel B in a Season 8 audition that almost immediately received 3 no votes. In his nearly 5-decade career, Kurtz made several TV appearances, including on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and The Late Late Show with James Corden, according to IMDb. He also performed at many of LA's notable comedy venues, including the Comedy Store and Hollywood Improv. There are no obituaries in today's New Bedford Standard Times. We will close with a little bit of help here for mental health experts. The headline reads, "Compassion Fatigue Can Have Serious Consequences," by Charles Trepanney. Can caring too much hurt your mental health? It's called compassion fatigue, and mental health experts say it's a phenomenon that occurs most commonly in people who work in professions like those that require caregiving or others who spend most of their time physically or emotionally taking care of another person. Though compassion and empathy are wonderful human qualities, they can also cause burnout, anxiety, and depression if someone isn't showing the same kindness to themselves they show other people. It's a form of emotional and physical exhaustion that is accompanied by some emotional pain, said Susan Nwogwu, a psychiatric nurse practitioner with Dunn, a digital healthcare company. These caregivers who continue to give themselves fully to this person that they're caring for in that moment find it very difficult to maintain a healthy balance of empathy and also being objective with their own personal responsibilities. Psychotherapist Stephanie Sarkis said the mental health consequences of compassion fatigue can be severe, including anxiety, depression, as well as thoughts of suicide. She said compassion fatigue may also cause someone to have nightmares about another person's trauma. It's feeling like you're just experiencing the same day over and over again, and there's nothing enriching your life, Sarkis said. You aren't having any kind of fun. You don't feel like you're getting any kind of break. She added, people who suffer from compassion fatigue are more prone to emotional outbursts, as well as developing alcohol, drug, or food addictions. Sarkis said compassion fatigue can also damage the other relationships someone has in their life if they're not aware of it. Before you saw people as basically good, she said. You may start treating people in your family differently because when you're in a helping profession, you see the range of what people can do to each other. Sarkis and Nwogwu agreed the most effective defenses against compassion fatigue are therapy and self-care. Sarkis said it's important to make self-care a regular part of your routine rather than waiting for compassion fatigue to happen before practicing it. Self-care has to come first. That needs to be proactive self-care, Sarkis said. Proactive self-care is every day you do something to nurture yourself. Here are some tips for taking care of yourself amid compassion fatigue. It could be taking a bubble bath. Develop a personal relaxation plan. Dress in comfortable clothes. Take a walk. Hire a sitter, or even create activities that can happen outside the house. You can ask for help, In psychiatry, there's something called respite care, where you can delegate care to someone else while you're taking a brief mental vacation and talk to someone. It's great to have friends in similar situations because they understand things in a way other people might not, Sarkis said. And with that good advice, we've come to the end of our reading of today's New Bedford Standard Times, dated Monday, August 19th of 2024. This is your reader, Eric, saying be well, be safe, look after each other, and remember our veterans, especially those we've recently lost. Bye for now.